I see you clicked on this video for the most budget-friendly deck in One Piece, a deck that can really ruin someone's day, and a deck that can win any tournament, regional or local. You have the ability to win with this deck. The very strong leader, Belo. That's the whole reason you clicked on the video, to learn the best budget option for OP11. I hope this helps you out a lot, because this deck is amazing. It's on average about $30 to $35 to play a competitive One Piece deck. It's all about just playing very aggressive. It beats the best deck in the format, which is really what you're hoping you match up against the most, and we're going to show you that matchup as well as a few others and how to play them. I think this deck is very interesting. I think people really underestimate this deck still to this day, because I was playing this deck back in OP07, OP08, winning local tournaments, just because of how busted this leader is, how people did not expect this deck to happen, and I think that was one of the strongest parts, and now that everyone knows about it, it's still strong. It's just, for me personally, I don't play it as often, but I'm excited to share it today. This is Belo. Activate main. Once per turn, you may discard one Revolutionary Army type card from your hand. Give up to three of your Revolutionary Army or trigger type characters plus 3,000 power. Well, the goal of a deck like this is to build a wide board of 1 cost, 2 cost, 3 cost, 5 cost. We do not care. I want as many bodies across the board to give 3,000 power to get the most value out of that leader effect. So the goal is to play some searchers early and then end up going into this Ivankov. So we search through the deck, we just put our raise max, which we can raise max, add extra power, and then swing. And then on the next turn we go into Ivankov, which Ivankov says if this character has 7,000 power or more, which is something that a lot of these characters say. They look for 7,000 power or more, which we get easily through our leader effect. It says play up to one Revolutionary Army type character other than Emporio Ivankov with 5,000 power or less from your hand. So basically, we can play 2 1-cost bodies in the first if we go second. This is perfect curve, maybe, possibly, if you choose to go second. Some deck lists like to go first with Belo. I don't really mind either way. I think you can definitely go either way with Belo. It's about 40-60 one way or another, depending on what your build is and how you want to play. But anyways, so we play our 2 searchers. That gives us 2 bodies to buff up on our second turn when we hit our 4 Dawn. Then we play out Ivankov, and now we have 3 full bodies to upgrade because we make Ivankov into an 8k character. Well, that's more than 7,000, so now we can cheat out an additional character to 4 cost. Well, we have some amazing 4 cost targets to cheat out. We have this Sabo, which is usually not the target you want to go for, but it is an option for sure. It's a 2k counter, and it can give, if you rest this character, one of your Rebel Army types other than Sabo gain plus 2,000 power, meaning we can buff up another character an additional amount. So we go 5-5-7 with the raise max, or if we have 2 Belo, 5-5-7 as well, if we get to cheat out the Sabo. Probably not the best choice, but it is an option. You can always cheat out Karasu, which is the best option, one of the most best budget cards that are really in red. It fits only in the Rebel Army style, but it just simply says if your leader has a Revolutionary Army type, give up to one of your opponent's leaders. Yes, leaders or characters minus 1,000 power during this turn. So we really get to debuff our opponent's leader, which is really just insane, and a very strong effect here with Karasu, and it has the same effect when attacking. So if we're going against a deck that stops our on-play effects like a Martial Teach, which is the only deck that can really stop them, we just get to use this anyways. We get to literally just go minus 1,000 when attacking. That's just super strong, and it's an option to cheat out with the Ivankov early, because now we're going all these 5 attacks into a 4k leader. We have Lindbergh, which KOs a 3,000 power character, which when you mix this with the Raise Max or the Koala, we get a lot of value. Koala helping us pop a 6k character, as this pops 3, and this gives minus 3,000 power and is a 2k counter. And the same thing with Raise Max, giving minus 3,000 power, bottom decking the Raise Max itself, and then getting rid of the character with the Lindbergh there. Very strong effect. Really enjoy Lindbergh and using its ability. Another option to cheat out off that Ivankov is going to be Karasu. And just remember, you can cheat out any of these characters. They're all anything 5,000 power or less. You can cheat out any of them. We could cheat out the Koala. We could cheat out the Raise Max, Belo, all these options. These are just the bigger targets for the effect. Anyways, Karasu here has a trigger that says if you and your opponent have 5 or less life total and your leader's Rebel Army, play this card. It's a blocker. It's a 3/4 blocker that when you add 3,000 power becomes a 7k. Same thing with Kuma. Exact same trigger. It's a 2k counter. It's a 4/5. Puts a body on the board if you need it. It's a really good card right there. We can also put this Inazuma that says if one of your other characters have 7,000 power, this card gains Rush. We can play Kuma, which KOs a 2,000 power character, so on 4 Dawn if we need to. We can go Koala into Kuma and then pop a 5,000 power character. That's an option. And then we can buff these up on the next turn. Not the best option, but it is an option to say the least. And then that's going to be all the characters in the deck other than our bigger boss monsters, quote unquote. We're going to be playing 4 of this blocker koala. I don't think you need to play this as a 4 of. This is really up to your own choice. But with a card we're playing that helps us filter the deck every single turn, I think it's a great option. Because a lot of decks go to starve out Belo Betty. They choose not to attack you because they know you're running these triggers like the Kuma, the Karasu, the Lindbergh. They know you have options like this, so they try not to attack you, correct? So what we do is we use this koala, we take a life into our hand, and then play out a 4-cost character from our hand, and then draw an additional card. So draw 2, because you take the life, and you draw a card, and you play a character. So you go basically play 2 characters, draw 2 cards in the simplest terms. Obviously you have to take a life as well, which is part of one of the drawings, but you're putting a blocker on the board which counts as a life in a way, so you're kind of going very even with this card, and I think it's really underestimated. And if you buff it up, it is a 9k swing into your opponent, so very, very strong card right here in the koala. We are going back to this Ivankov, which is very similar to the other Ivankov, except it's a 5-cost 6k that can't be played off this Ivankov. It just says, look at the top 3 cards, play 1 Revolutionary Army type character with 5,000 power or less, then return the remaining cards to the bottom of the deck in any order. So we play out 5-cost Ivankov, which can play out literally any of the characters we just went over moments ago, other than the koala and the Sabo. So very good, because we can play this Ivankov into the 4-cost Ivankov, but we can't play 4-cost Ivankov into 5-cost Ivankov. So just keep that in mind. Rectangles are squares, but not all squares are rectangles. Is that? Yeah, exactly. So you get what I'm saying there. I think that's correct. I might have said it backwards. I might have said it forwards. Sabo is an option. It's not my favorite option in the deck. I'll say it straight up, but it is an option, so I throw it in here as a one of. One of is this Sabo, one of this Sabo. Pick your poison, pick your choice, do whatever you want. I don't really care. Place up to 1 of your Revolutionary Army type cards from your hand to the top of your life face up. Then, if you have 2 life or more, put the top or bottom card of your life pile into your hand. So if you have 2 or more life after you have the life, I guess. So I guess you have to be on 0 life to use a Sabo and not have to take a life. But you can also just set up a trigger and you put a 7/7 on the board that becomes a 7/10. It's an option because you can put Karasu into life then and then go from there. You're putting a blocker, which basically gives you 2 life in a way. So it's the possibility for sure, and you put a big body on the board. It also has an amazing trigger just to draw 2 cards. So you can filter through it pretty easily if you don't need it. But in times you do, it's always there as an option. And then, to finish it off, the Revolutionary Army stage. Now, you may trash 1 card from your hand, rest this stage, look at the top 3 of your deck, and then reveal 1 Revolutionary Army type card and add it to your hand. Now, of course, the first time you play this, you do go -1 card in hand size, but after this, you're getting so much value filtering through and finding the exact pieces you need, especially because certain matchups, you need exact frickin' cards. You need to be able to pop a... Let's talk about the worst card to have to go against here, and you're going to know exactly what this is. It's called Shoe Buggy. And we're waiting for this to upload. There we go. All right. So we look into this buggy right here. It stops all 3-cost and 4-cost characters from attacking, and then on play plays a cross skill type from your hand. Whatever. It stops all of these 3 and 4-cost characters, so all we can swing with is 5-cost Ivankov, 6-cost Koala, 7-cost Sabo, and all these little chumps down here. So you need to be able to go Koala, Kuma, or you need to have Lindbergh ready to go Koala, Lindbergh attack. Something to remove this body as soon as possible and not allow them to get the Crocodile Mihawk from saving it from being KO'd. It's very annoying. I know it's very annoying, but you have to get these certain things ready, and this helps you filter to find those options against a deck that literally just shuts you down. Buggy just dominates the Belo Betty. Other than that, as long as you don't run into Buggy, and you can still beat Buggy. I've seen Buggies lose to Belo Bettys. It's just very unlikely. Now, there are all the other decks that you play very well into. Blue Purple Luffy is a deck that you dominate because of the leader effect. Just taking, basically they don't have a leader effect for the first 4 turns, and your goal as Belo Betty is to win in 5 turns or less. So just know, you go aggro, you just hit them in the face a bunch, and you usually just win the game. It's not as simple as that. It's very complicated, actually, but card games, it sounds a lot easier than it is. It is easy for the blue-purple matchup. It's hard to lose, especially at locals, so if you have issues with blue-purple locally, and that's what everyone's playing, you just bust out this deck for 30, 35 bucks, and you just win the game. Legit, this card is 15 cents, 15 cents, 15 cents, 15 cents, 15 cents. They're all cheap as crap. Even the SRs are dirt cheap. This was reprinted in PRB. This is OP09, so it's very modern and not very played. All of these, I think Cross is probably the most expensive card, and it's 54 cents. So, hey, I recommend Belo. This is going to be the best budget deck you can play in One Piece, and let's give you some theory. Let's prove the theory right here, saying this is the best budget deck. Let's get some wins on the sim, and let's get straight into that for this $35 Belo deck. We're here to show you why we never lose to a blue Purple Luffy. It's not like we're just handed the victory. They choose to go first. We're going to be going second here. We do have the Ivankov and everything, but we don't have anything else, so I want to find something else early. This ain't much better. It's a little better, but it ain't much better. It just depends on how the blue Purple Luffy plays, so we're going to go ahead and tap out for 1. We're going to trash the 2K counter, not really needing it, and we're going to grab a Kuma for later, possibly, and pass. We don't have a body on the board, which is not great for Belo. We want to get bodies on the board as early as possible. They're going to go 6 at us. So they're not worried about starving us out here. We're going to take that. We're going to use the trigger. We're going to draw Koala because we're seeing that they're not going to starve us out. So we're okay with that. So they go with the Doflamingo, putting a blocker on the board, sacking the top 5 cards of their deck. They can add it to the top or bottom, grabbing what they need to. The Gravity Blade is probably what they're looking for. So if they find one that puts them in a really good spot, I just hope they don't find 5 Linlins and 4 Gravity Blades. That would be pretty bad. Now, obviously you can't actually find that many. That was a joke, guys. We could just ruin their day. We could go Ivankov, leader effect, trash Karasu, buff, and then cheat out, and then swing and pop. Now they just lose their blocker altogether. They take the life right here for sure. And then I think we're just going to trash a card. Really? Really? That's what we do here. That's insane, man. How unlucky. We're gonna grab a 2K counter in case they swing 6 into Lindbergh. It'll allow us to counter out aggressively because they're going to probably want to put down a 5-cost Nami here. So I'm assuming they go 6 into our board. They could also tap out for 5. We're going to go ahead and counter out of that. Could tap out for 5 and pop the character, but of course they do go with the Nami. They place 2 cards on the bottom. They drew the 3 cards they didn't know were there thanks to the 5-drop Doflamingo. All right, we're going to go ahead and trash this. I want to get rid of it. We could have gotten another Ivankov. We could get another Koala. I think we're just going to go 5-drop Ivankov here. We're going to play out Inazuma, and then, do we even leader effect at this point? I think we just pass to our opponent. I guess we should have swung 6. I'm an idiot. Should have swung 6. I just lost us the freaking game. Should have swung 6 with leader. We had nothing else to do. Literally nothing else to do. Should have just swung for 6, but hey, it is what it is. They're going to God Thread down our Mr. Lindbergh. They're going to have 3 Dawn active. They're probably going to swing out pretty heavily here, and we're not going to feel too good about it. 8 into face, we're going to take, we get a Belo Searcher, first Belo Searcher we've ever seen. They get rid of our 1 character that could have gotten rid of that, so that's nice of them, for them, not for us. We're going to grab a Lindbergh for possible stuff later. We're going to probably drop the Lindbergh. I don't think we're actually going to use it. Karasu we will use, though. We're going to go ahead and drop the Karasu. We're going to leader effect, trash this, buff, and now we're going to go win a little bit. We're going to go 6 at face. You're going to have to give us a 2K counter. We're basically just trying to burn a lot of cards out of their hand because now we can go 7 and then another 7 and then 9. Well, we can go 8 and then 8 or 8, 9 because 8 is going to help in case now they can't use the blocker. So 8 is going to put them to where they have to either Gum Giant or do something. Now 9 is going to be even bigger. They could block out and they just lose the body altogether. But if they would have gone 7, block 2K, then we swing the board. No, we would have just swung face and left that alone. So they probably could have saved the Nami that way and been at the same life total, I guess. Maybe no, because they would have had more counter. That doesn't make sense. All right, they're going to draw 2 cards here. I think we're in a really good spot. We have a very wide board. We have the Karasu out. We basically have everything we need. We have a 2K counter in hand if we need that. We have a way to minus their character's power if we need that. What do you got for me? What do you have for me, friend? So it's pretty good. It looks like this is how you dominate a blue Purple Luffy. This is how you dominate a blue Purple Luffy. Even after they get the they got the Gravity Blade trigger this game, right? Yep, they got a Gravity Blade trigger. Yay! That was fun. That was fun back in the day. But now, it's time that we're not messing around. We are not messing around. 4 into 6, that's correct. That is what you correctly do, because we cannot counter out of that. Now, if they go 9-drop Rush Luffy, that would suck. 9-drop Linlin. They're going to give us Karasu into life. That's why we play the Koala from earlier, because that helps us get through that. We're going to drop the Kuma, see what we can find. Oh my gosh, watch this. Take the bottom life. Play out the Karasu, and then minus down their leader. How insane was that? Now we trash, buff, and now we're back to the good spot. Because we can go 7, 6. So we're going to go 6 here, force out a 2K counter. See, that's why we played the Koala. It's literally just for this matchup. Look how good that was. We got to rip the Karasu from the bottom of our life, play it out, and draw a card to get a free leader effect for the turn. Well, now we're gonna go 7, because 7's gonna be pretty freaking good. Then we're gonna go 7 again, and then we're gonna go 9. They Gum Giant right here. They're down to 7, so they won't be able to draw 2 cards next turn, which is very nice for us, unless they get some kind of trigger right here to ramp an active Dawn. And if they do, I'm gonna be pretty freaking pissed. So 7, and then we're gonna go 9. And that's going to be GG's to the Blue Purple Luffy. This is the best deck in the format. If you are not a One Piece player, this Blue Purple Luffy is the best deck out there. And we just dogged him. We just put him down in the dirt. We just did him dirty. What is this? If you have 3 less cards in your hand, return one of your opponent's 3 costs to its owner's hand. Why are we playing this? Interesting. Anyways, that was dominating. I hope you enjoyed that. We have a few more. We'll have a game or 2 more for this Belo Betty matchup deck list and everything good about Belo Betty, the $30 budget deck for you, the One Piece players. Now that I showed you our best matchup, it's time for you to see our worst. Legitimately, the worst thing we could ever do to ourselves is right here. We're gonna go ahead and event. We're gonna trash. This is gonna be locked in. We are gonna be ready to go. We're looking for big bodies to play out or cards to help us KO their board. So be ready to see me feel miserable. This is gonna go downhill so quickly. We're gonna go ahead and trash. We need this. We may not need 2 koalas. We may need 2 koalas. Well, we don't need 2 koalas actually. We're gonna grab a Karasu to play out this turn, because they don't have anything we really want to pop. So we're just going to go 5 in a face. We're going to play out that Karasu. And I think that's fine. Just having at least a blocker, at least it gives us some value in case they do go with the 5-drop sometime soon. Obviously, they can't do it till next turn. They're going to go Avita, draw 3, place 2 at the top, or trash 2. For some reason, I was thinking Nami effect, and I'm like, that ain't Nami. That is not Nami at all. So, not the same. We are not the same, bro. We are not the same. We're gonna go Ivankov next. They're gonna go 5 into us. We are gonna take this. We find a Belo Betty. It's not horrible. We can actually use it for something. I would love to do this, but it just won't work, sadly. So we're gonna go Ivankov into Ivankov, and then we're going to, do we even leader effect here? I don't think so. I would love to, but I think it would be greedy. I think it'd be really greedy to go and do that. They take? They're looking for the character. They have not found it yet. Oh man, we're not finding our removal either. So we're both not finding what we really need. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think we just grab counter at that point. I would love to grab the Karasu, but it just doesn't work. We could have put more bodies on the board, but they're about to stop our bodies is what we're expecting. So still searching. They're still looking for their pieces. They grab a 10-drop buggy. They still have not found the 5-drop that stops all of our characters attacking. So that's a good sign. From what I can tell, they have not found it yet, which is, again, really googly good. I am very happy about it, but I've been playing as if they would have it because they should have it at this point. Now they go Crocodile Mihawk, and that just tells me it's time to pound their face in. Legitimately, we need to finish this as soon as possible. If they're going Crocodile Mihawk, draw 2, trash 1, they trash a 1k counter Alvita. They get to play out a 4-cost character, which is going to be the Moji, which will have blocker. Oh, no, it won't, because they don't have 2 or more of the things. We're going to go ahead and counter. We're going to take. I think we just take in that situation. That may be insane, but I'm okay being insane for this one. We're going to go ahead and trash a card. We're going to trash one of the searchers. And I guess we're going to grab a Karasu because we're going to trash a Karasu buff. We're going to use this to play out the Karasu, -1 on the leader. And I think we're just going balls to the wall. We're going to put I think we're just going to go as heavy as possible, get them down to 0. I don't even think we play out the Koala. Well, we could play out the Koala. We could go 6, 7. I think we're just going to go 6 in a face here. And then we're going to go 7, 8, 9, and then play out the Koala as just a blocker because it's something we can attack with in case, because we're forcing them. They give us 2 1Ks there, dude. We are about to win against our worst freaking matchup, man. Our worst matchup, we're about to win because we're going to go 8. That would be 4 cards from hand at this point because they showed us, no, 5 cards from hand. Oh, no, they did give us a 2K, didn't they? They did give us a 2K. I forgot they're a weak little leader. 9 into 4. They're just taking. They're taking every single attack. Well, we're going to do the same thing, basically. We're going to just put the blocker, not take any life or do anything. Just put a blocker on the board. We might as well. We have the counter, so that if they want to go for lethal right now, they can try. But this guarantees there's no lethal math, because if we didn't play the Koala, there was potential there. We would have to do something about that. So the deck only runs 2 to 3 of the buggy that stops our attacks, and they haven't found it. So what? They don't have blocker. They don't even have blocker. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. What they had to do there was play out Buggy to play out Mihawk and then play out one of the Mochis. That would have saved them. That potentially. But that also just gives them 3 blockers, and they go, what, 5 counter, 7 block counter. And then we just swing all out with all these bodies and all the attacks. We just discard a card. So that would be, what, 7, 9, 8, 8, 9, 9, because of all the Dawn, 9 Dawn, so 3, 3, 3. So 3, 3, 3, 8, 9, 9. 8, 9, 7. And the Karasu makes them into a 4K leader. So block, block, block. Can they counter anything? They have 2K counter. GG's to our opponents. On to the next one. Peace. Purple Yellow Pudding is a good off-meta ramp deck list that, ooh, I like the stage. I really like that stage. But I like searchers more. Give me a searcher! We got a searcher, let's go! I want to put some kind of body on the board. Finally putting a body on the board feels pretty good here. We may go for, we're gonna Ivankov, Karasu, we already have Koala. We don't really have, we could pop something with the 2 if we need to on 5, going 1 extra Dawn. Raise max, I don't think we're gonna raise max anything though. We could raise max Koala into an 8-drop Katakuri, which putting the put down pretty easily. We already have a 3-Don play if we need to. Karasu would be a pretty good 3-Don play. We could also just go raise max Koala. We could go raise max Kuma. I think we're gonna grab Karasu here and pass to our opponent. I think Karasu's the choice there. I think raise max is just gonna be a brick in hand for most of the game. I don't think we're not really worried about controlling their board. We're just trying to kill them and end the game. And if we can't do that, we can't do that. That's legitimately just how it is. We're gonna go and swing 5 because we took them off their curve, which is very nice for us. I really like that. They take the first attack, which is good. We're not gonna leader effect an attack with a Belo or do anything like that. I want them to have to hit us. Ooh, Sparrow. This early? Are you serious? Purple Yellow Puddings are not playing Sparrow. Man, that was a lot of P's in that sentence. That was a lot of P's. We were pushing P right there. Let's see what our opponent chooses to do here. They don't really have a way to control our board. They could Red Hawk if they have one. It is an option for a yellow deck. Usually they want to ramp up. They could go 5-7. Could go 5-9. Literally just trying to go ahead and get us down in life, which, hey, if that's your style of play, go for it. They want to swing another 5, we may counter out? Nah, probably not. 6, ooh, I am just going to take. If you and your opponent's life total is 5, use trigger, boom, a bam, bop. An Ivankov, well, might as well. Ivankov into, I could raise max, then lower the power of the Sparrow. I could just go all the way in. I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can Ivankov, but then we can't buff all 3 of these. But we could Ivankov into Koala and then swing the Sparrow just to get it off the board. Screw it, we're gonna do that. We're gonna trash the Ivankov and then we're gonna go buff, buff, buff. We didn't think about that, did we? We did not think about that at all. Well, we're going to, I don't even think we're gonna cheat anything out actually. I think I totally just changed my, never mind. We're going to go 7 into Sparrow here. I think we're just going to try to remove it. I should have gone 5 into it and maybe burn some cards out of hand to really put them behind. They're already off on their, they would usually play. So usually you don't attack them to not allow them to ramp again, but they're going into 7 and then they ramp 1 rested. So they go into, no matter what, they're going into 10, right? Are they? I think just putting on the aggression is so much more important in this situation. We'll swing 5. They may counter the first attack. If they do, maybe we just let it slide. Yeah, maybe we just let it slide then. Because I don't want to wait for them to turn the top of the 2 life face down. I guess they could do that any kind of way with the Katakuri, so I don't think it's worth actually stopping. I think just getting them down to 2 life already is going to be pretty good, especially because we can go all out next turn. And then we can just go Karasu over top of Belo and pass and just get another blocker on the board. We have counter in hand. We have another Ivankov. If they tap 6, Dawn -2 and Conquest, pop 2 characters, we're still here. We still have options because then they only go 6 into maybe 6 into 4 is pretty good. That'd be a 2K, 1K. It's not horrible. And then we refill with the Ivankov on the board. So they could pop both of these characters. Instead, they do go with the Katakuri. So they're ramping. They had a way to ramp no matter what because they only need to go to 8. They didn't need to go any bigger than that. So that's fine. They're going to be able to pop one of our characters here or swing into it. We're not going to give them cards out of hand for it. It's really just not worth it, honestly. Not worth it at all. Fun fact, we can just play out Kuma to pop Brûlée. They grab Zeus. This is pretty good, but they're not going to be able to use it just yet. They should go 6 into Karasu, just because Karasu actually has some value on the board, while Inazuma has no more effect, basically. And then we're going to, I think I'm just going to pop the blocker, leader effect, trash the Lindbergh. I'm not going to cheat anything out here. We're just going to bump, 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 and then go, we know they don't have any triggers, so it doesn't really matter the order. We're going to go 7. We could almost pop that with Kuma. We were close. We're not there, but we could have. Almost. Okay, see, I'm just going for the gusto. We're going 7. What is this? 999. It's not bad. They take that. Well, let's go 9 because they're gonna have to get out 2 9s now. Basically, we're gonna have a blocker on the board. They're gonna have 2 attacks. We're gonna have tons of counter. They had 2 2Ks. They could have gotten out of one of the 9s, and then they would have just lost. Literally, we just dominated them so quickly that the game was just over. GG's to our opponent. $35 budget deck for another win. All right, this is gonna be our 4th match, final match. Right here, mulligan that hand every day of the week. Nothing to do earlier. Our opponent chooses to go first. We're going to be going 2nd here. And we're going to stage and raise max. We're going to trash a koala because we don't really need koala. Go into a, there's not much to do either way. So if we got Belo Betty, we only have 3 Dawn. We can go Belo Betty Karasu, but we have nothing for later. So I think we go Ivankov because Ivankov just gets so much free value right there. So boom, there's your answer. Go with Ivankov in that situation, that exact situation we were in. That's the card we're choosing, and that's the best option. You have to let it roll sometimes. We're going to take, well, fun fact, Ivankov may not have been the best choice there, but it was a choice for sure. It was an option on the board. We're going to go ahead and go this. We're going to leader effect. We're going to trash the Saba bump. We're going to go cheat on a body. Well, we should have done this first. 5 into face, and then 5 into face. Nice and easy. Just get a little bit of aggression on. They are going to counter out of this attack. They should. You give us a Foxy, so we know they're running the Porsche engine in the Reiju, so we know they're not probably playing a lot of the 7-cost blockers. They may be playing some. They do get the Kingdom German Kingdom. German Kingdom here just doing basically exactly what our stage does, filtering through the deck. They just do it pretty well. They're grabbing Niji. Niji's going to be good to pop some of our characters. They don't have a Niji out just yet. Baby Niji. So basically all Reiju does is play out little bodies, play out big bodies, and all we do is really just punch them in the face. That's it. That's the game. That's the game plan. That's all we got for them. We could just block in 2K to keep this alive, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth losing a card in hand to save a 2K attack. It would be fun, but it wouldn't be smart. Well, we are going to Kuma this away, so that's going to be pretty good here. I think what we're going to do first is trash the Karasu. Look at the top 3 cards. That's pretty freaking good, dude. That's pretty good. What we can do, though, is actually Ankov into Ankov. Oh, my gosh. Leader effect. Dude, this is stupid. Just know this play is actually stupid. You should not do this. We're going to cheat out Kuma to pop the blocker, and then we're going to cheat out Karasu to give the leader minus 1,000, and then we're going to swing in. That was not smart at all. That was not smart to just lose our whole hand size there, because literally our opponent could go for game next turn. They showed us they don't have any 2Ks. Now we're going to go 7 and then 8. We probably just win. We legit probably just win because of that, because they don't have any cards in hand. But I have no idea. But that was just stupid. It was just so dumb. It was so funny, but it was so freaking dumb. They could probably remove our board. The smart thing to do would put 2 Dawn on Reiju, swing 4 into Karasu, 5 into Ivankov, and then they would still be sitting on some Dawn here. That's what I would have done personally. They're going to go with Reiju first, draw 2, then they could Ichiji, because they have the ability to Ichiji. So they drew 3 because of Reiju and Reiju. Then they'll have Rush with this Ichiji. I would have, again, probably swung out. It doesn't matter because you're not hitting us anyways in the face. You're probably not going to hit us. They have Niji. Niji is going to be able to bounce a character back to our hand, right? So they bounce our Karasu. I don't think they understand the value we're going to have off Karasu anyways, because we're going to be able to just drop a card in hand. They don't have any blockers on the board, right? Am I missing anything? They minus down the Ivankov. We already have the other Ivankov. Maybe that was the smart choice because of what we're about to freaking do to them. I'm so confused. It's just GG's, is it not? Bro. We're not going to because it doesn't make mathematical sense. We have 3 swings, dropping them by 2. I don't think that maths, does it? So we could tap 4 and then, well, we wouldn't have anything to discard. You can't do both. So we're just going to leader effect, drop Karasu, buff. We're going to cheat out the Karasu for absolutely free. And now we're just going to swing all out, right? So it's going to be what? 9, 12. So it was going to be, oh yeah, it was just game. We were just going to go 9, 10, 11. That's literally what it's going to be, 9, 10, 11. GG's to our opponent. That's game over. They only had 4K counters, so they couldn't even get out of the 9. And then we swing a 10. They couldn't even get out of the 10 because they'd only get a 1K counter. And then we swing 11, and you definitely can't get out of that, even if you could have gotten out of the 10. So GG's to our opponent. Belo Betty, $35. I think we're going to play one more because all these games have been 5 minutes or less, dude. One more game. I'm having so much fun just beating people. It actually feels really nice. I'm not gonna lie, it feels good to win. We're gonna play Koby. We should lose this matchup. Legitimately, we should lose this matchup. I think we're gonna keep this hand. It's not a good hand at all. I'm trying to lose a game here. I want you guys to know that. We're trying to lose. We're gonna win. We're gonna try to win, but this is a bad matchup for us, and we're gonna keep a bad hand to see if we were in the trenches against the worst, a bad matchup for us. All they have to do is just be a person with a brain, and they should win this pretty easily. They go with, I am the one who will be king of, something. I will be a Navy officer. We're going to trash a card from hand. I think we just trashed the Kuma. Kuma's not going to get much value because they already have 3 cards in trash. They could save whatever they want because they return, what, 3 Navy cards or 3 cards from trash. I think we're just going to drop the 2K Kuma, though, just in case. And we're going to grab another Karasu. Boom. Now next turn we're going to Ivankov and a Karasu and go the whole 9 yards. They shouldn't have a 3 cost we're really worried about. They go Peacock. We're not worried about Peacock. We could pop Peacock with a Kuma. It's not a great idea. But we could, technically. Technically, we could. They grab I am going to be the one who's going to be a Navy officer. They go brand new instead, though. Look at the top 3 and then trash 2. I would have played Navy officer instead just because I guess having a 3K, maybe it sets them up for something they're looking for. We're going to take. We get another Ivankov. So we have double Ivankov, double Karasu. I think we're just going to swing in for 5 first because that's obviously all we're going to do anyways. And then we're going to trash the Kuma for real this time. So we're going to trash Kuma. Look at the top 3. We're going to grab Inazuma's going to be good for instant value later. And then I think we're just going to tap 4. I guess we should have Karasu'd first to force out a 2K, but it's fine. Again, Lindbergh is not going to be much value, but it could be some. So we may actually go Lindbergh. Go ahead and force, well, they already have 6 cards in trash, and they have I'm going to be a Navy officer, but it's going to put 2 more cards in trash. We ain't getting no removal here. We are not getting any removal in this matchup at all. Just be ready for that. I should have done it. I did it out of order. We're literally trying to lose, it looks like. It looks like we're trying to lose it. We're showing the guy we are trying to lose this match. So they should get us. They should. Will they? Time will tell. This hand is cracked. This hand is absolutely, if they don't have a way to deal with any of these characters right away, this hand's bogus. Like this is badass. The only thing is it could have swung 6 or 5 into 4 and force out a 2K. That would have been nice to force out a 2K. They put down Kuzan, which basically trashes top 3 cards. We're getting no removal this game. And they're going to swing 5. And we're going to take again. If it's 5, so 4 and 2 does not equal 5, so no trigger. Now what we're going to do is, I think we're going to trash, I think we trash the Karasu. Look at the top 3. We're going to grab a Koala. And then I think we're going to play out, Belo Betty. It's not going to hurt to play Belo Betty. 5 cost Ivankov is pretty gas. And it loses us a lot less cards right now. But what we could do is leader effect up these guys and then cheat out a Karasu, swing with Karasu, and then go into a 7K leader. But we can do that later and just hold the value. So what we could do right now is trash a Ivankov, buff. Not really worth it. We're going to go 8 into 4. They should just take this attack first. Then we're going to go 5 into leader. And then I think we are going to go with the Ivankov. Because at least this leaves counter in hand in case we need it. We have 2 2Ks, but now that puts 2 bodies on the board with the Inazuma versus just putting 1. Of course, we could go, what we could have done this whole time was cheat out Karasu. And we're going to cheat out Inazuma. This is going to look crazy. We're going to go 4 into face. I'm doing everything backwards here on purpose. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. What can you do against something like that? Did you just see what we did to these people? I don't even know what we just did. I don't even know. We could have made them a 3K leader and basically had them at 0 life, but we did everything incorrectly. They grab a Helmeppo. Oh, SpaghettiOs. Well, they're going to have Helmeppo. Helmeppo's going to be able to swing active. Oh, my Lantha. They're going to get rid of the Karasu's ASA sap. So they're going to go 5 and 5. We're going to have to go 2K. They're going to have Helmeppo 7 and then 9 into Ivankov. So we're going to lose Karasu, Inazuma, and Ivankov this turn. 5 cost Ivankov. All this turn, because they're going to Helmeppo, Koby. They're going to be able to swing Kuzan into Karasu. We counter. Koby into Karasu. We counter. 7 into Karasu. We can't counter. They let it go. They're going to swing 10 into Ivankov. We're not going to be able to get out of that. Interesting enough. We're going to let that go. So they're going to go 5, 6, 7. But we're going to counter out of 5, counter out of 6, and then let the 7 go. That's fine. So they're going to go 7 into Ivankov. You got it. Could be smart to go double Koala, just remove the bodies off the board. Because they're only going to have 2 characters. But no, then I just have to counter out of life anyways. Is it good to pop the Helmeppo? It's not even guaranteed. Well, I'd go 9 into 4. It's probably gone. And then something into 3. Whatever else into 3. And we just control the board that way. Let's see what would happen. Let's see what would happen if we did that. Oh, Karasu. This is going to be the stupidest thing I've ever done. We're going to go 1 for Belo Betty. We're going to look at the top of the deck. We're going to grab a 2K counter. It doesn't matter because we're not going to use it. We're going -3. We're going -3. We're going to leader effect. We didn't even need a leader effect, honestly, but we did anyways. Buff. We're going to go 9 into 4. Can they get out of that? That's the real question. They cannot, which tells us that this is going to go through as well. This is not what you should do, guys. This is not what you should do. I'm just messing around at this point. I told you I want to lose. I want to be so bad that I lose. It's not the worst play in the world. Don't even get me wrong. Like, that is literally not even the worst play we could do. The fun thing is they're at 9 dons. They could go, 2? So they could go 5, 5, 7, technically, with the Peacock. They could have gone 5, 5, 7, and possibly 1 if this was no counter. We're going to go Helmeppo again. Helmeppo into Koby. They're going to be able to give a character the ability to attack active. So they're going to remove 2 of our bodies possibly. If they get a Ripper on the board, we're actually cooked. Literally all they need is Ripper and they just don't lose the game. That card is busted, but all they have is what, 9 into 6? Sure. They give the ability to attack active into Koby, probably? Or no, Helmeppo, because then Koby can attack face, Helmeppo can attack a character. Probably the best option at this point. Get cards from trash, they're down to 15. Yep, you got Ivankov. You got it. You got it. If they swing Koby into an active character, I'm going to be a little upset, because that would be incorrect. Does this only give Koby the ability? No, give one of your active characters the ability to attack. Yeah, give one of your characters the ability to attack one of your... We figured it out. That is what they chose to do, in fact. Now they're going to go 7 in a face. Didn't even need to go 7. Could have left the Dawn up as active. Draw 2. Any day of the week, I'm going to draw 2 for absolutely the free skis. Trash. We're going to look at the top of the deck. We may go raise max. I think I'm going to go raise max. I think we're going to Belo Betty first. Look at the top 5 cards. We're going to grab Sabo. I'm going to try something. We'll see what happens. -3. What is that? 4. So we could go 8. We could have just gone 4, I guess, to get a card out of hand, which probably would have been smart. Really? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again? I think that's guaranteed math there, and now we just burn all the cards out of their hand. Dude, they want to lose too. And they had the Ripper to play last turn. They didn't use it. They didn't play the Ripper. If they played the Ripper, they would have been perfectly fine to literally just go all in, basically. Well, not last turn, I guess that would have to have been that this turn, the next turn, into what they're doing now could have gone all in. But we filtered through with this stage, which is really amazing, in the Belo Betty to find the raise max, and now we're sitting on 4K counter. They're gonna go 5. So they have to go 5, 7, 9. I guess we'll just take. We can get out of the 9. Oh, 5, 7, 9 still. Wow. We should have countered out, but why did I not counter out of that? Why did I literally just not counter out of that? Am I stupid? I am literally just stupid. Why did I not counter out of that? Why did I not counter out of the 5? I told you guys I wanted to lose so bad. I just literally just didn't even think about it. Dude, we could have beaten Koby right there because it only had 1K, 1K. We leader effect, +3, +3, and now we're looking at what? 4 cards, so we would have gone probably 7. They didn't even go for our board, so we would have gone, I guess they could have gone brand new into Koala maybe, and maybe gotten it. No, because we wouldn't have had no cards. So it would have been 3 attacks if they played it correctly. And then we could have gone, what? 7 would have hit, and then 9 would be 4 Dawn, and then 9. Yeah, it would have been 7, 9, 9. We would have won. Legit, we should have won that. I just didn't even think about it, because we could have just counter, take, and we're fine. We're literally just fine. We just counter that. We counter the next attack, because it would have been 1K. Oh no, we still would have lost. We still would have lost, actually. Fun fact, we would have lost because 5 hits, or 5 we counter, only have 1 card in hand after that. 7's guaranteed to hit us, right? And then the 9 is guaranteed to go through because we have 2 cards in hand. So we did actually lose. Good to know, good to know. Well, that is Belo Betty, the budget deck. You don't have to worry about Koby at your locals. I have to worry about it at locals because I have to deal with it at locals all the time. And that deck is annoying at locals, especially because they always find the 4 Helmeppos every single time, but that's a different conversation. Anyways, this is your $35 budget deck in one piece. I hope it helped a lot of you guys out to learn that you can play this card game for very, very cheap. It's the best budget deck in the One Piece card game. It's so much fun to play. It makes people upset. It makes you feel happy. And it's just really fun. There's tons of different builds. So if you literally wanted to make every single build possible, you probably have to spend $50 to do any kind of different competitive build. And that's if you want to be ready for any kind of different build you want to do with Belo Betty. So it's a great deck for new players. It's not as basic as just getting a starter deck. You feel like you actually build something the way you want to, not just getting a starter deck and then having to spend $30, $40 a card for the extra cards you're missing and all that stuff. So, hey, I hope this helped you out. I hope this helped you get into One Piece and find the best budget deck to play the card game. I hope to see you at New Jersey Collecticon, which I'm at today and yesterday. And I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe, like, down below your deck you want to see next. And see you in the next one. Peace.